Just a good man. Okay, let's get with Bill Ciccone with N22. For those of you that have had a morning that was kind of upbeat, kind of pretty intense, kind of just kind of like a Saturday, I want you to sit back and kind of listen to this, because what Bill's got to say is a very, very, it's one of those tough subjects. It has to do with probably one of the saddest subjects in our particular community, and I'll let Bill tell you about it. Bill, talk to me, man. What is N22 all about? And if you don't mind going into the details, we'd like to hear it.
Hey, Boone, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Let's see. N22. A lot of people ask that question, what is N22? And what they don't realize is that every day in America, we got 22 vets that take their lives either from PTSD, depression, or TBI. And, it's something that I'm going to relate it back to Agent Orange, where the federal government has ignored certain things. And then, years and years later, they've come out and said, oh, well, yeah, we did use this chemical, or yeah, we did do this, or yeah, we did do that. And they never really took care of the problem. Well, we're at that stage again. When I say we're at that stage again, on November 26, 2012, upon my son's return from Iraq, he struggled, and he self-medicated, and he went through all this different therapy, and they drugged him up and everything else. Well, eventually, on November 26, 2012, my son took his life, and it's probably the hardest. It is the hardest thing that me and my wife have had to deal with.
Now, Bill, let me jump in, just kind of catch your breath a little bit, and I'm going to take a little bit of liberty here. And the reason I do this, and you're familiar with my show, you're familiar with what I do. I don't pull any punches, and we have real conversations here because this is how the country learns. This is how we heal. Now, one of the biggest misnomers out there is that warfighter, when they're in that state of crisis, they believe that the world will be better without them, that their families will be better off without them, that they're a burden, that they can't get it right. And from the warfighter side, well, here's what it looks like. You come home, and typically your family wants you to be like you used to be. Well, you can't be like you used to be, and so you've lost that bit of your identity. You try and go down and get a job. Well, you get a lot of discrimination getting jobs. You try and go to school, they still treat you like your baby killer. You lose your sense of mission because you're not wearing that uniform. You don't have that sense of mission anymore. So there's a huge crisis that's going on with that warfighter, and I've been through it myself. I'm not talking out of turn here. I've actually experienced these things. So when we get this sense of the world will be better without us, it is the biggest distortion and lie we could possibly ever tell ourselves. It's absolutely not true. And though it may be painful, I have to ask you, do you know anybody that is better off now that your son took his life?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He had so much to live for, and he had so much to give the world. And it's just like, in the military, they teach you, and you know this firsthand, to get rid of the problem. That's what our job is to get rid of whatever the problem is.
Right.
And these service members, they come home, and, my wife told me this, and she said, and she got it from somebody else. They wake up in the morning, and they look in the mirror, they see the problem. And my friend that's doing the ride with me, he's attempted twice, and he sort of gave me perspective, and I've given him perspective. We lean on each other.
Good.
And he said that when a person gets to that point, they're in like a tunnel vision. They don't see anything else around them. They only see that one thing. And that's that one moment where that one person gets that nerve to do what they did. And, the man that's going to be doing the ride with me, the N22 ride, his name is David Waters, and we're going to be riding around the United States. And we'll be talking to service member, active duty, vets, VFWs, VA, anybody we can get in front of to spread this word, that, you matter. And, it's real important that these service members know this, the vets and the active duty.
Yeah, warfighters got to understand that the world really will not be better without you. And I can tell you, it's kind of like this. When it comes to suicide, that's the one death you're not going to have to mourn. And for a lot of warfighters, once you've taken life, one more is just a number. And if it's yourself, it's the one you'll never have to mourn. So in a lot of ways, I'm just being honest, it's almost attractive And when you're on especially if you're on the zombie dope and you're on all the drugs, I can remember specifically being on all the drugs and reaching for my gun and grabbing it to put it to my head and thinking to myself, this is crazy. I should want to stop myself, and I have no inclination to stop at all. And it's for that sense of logic that was really making that stop, that not happen. But at the same time, when you're spun out on that zombie dope and you're on all the drugs and you're just not getting along with your family and the old lady's left you and they're going to take your kids away from you and you're in debt and you can't get a job and your family's going, we just want you to be like you used to be.
Yeah.
It's not possible. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
So,
Let me throw some numbers at you.
Yeah, give me some numbers, man.
Listen to this. During these years of war, going all the way back to 2000, we've had approximately a little bit over 6,000 kills in action.
Right.
During that same time frame, during those same amount of years, we've had 112,000 deaths of veterans and active duty service members by suicide.
Yep, and that's the most minimum number possible. Most of the states haven't even reported. But the numbers that we have...
29 of the 50 states don't report.
Right, 29 of 50 states don't report. We lose under 7,000 total in combat, but we lose more than 8,000 a year to suicide. A year.
Yep, yeah.
So, yeah, those are real numbers, and they don't account for the guys that, put a car into a pylon. They don't count if it doesn't go through the VA system and someone takes their warfighter takes their own life, that doesn't get counted. The number, if 22, 23 a day shock you, 50 and 100 should really shock you. And those are the kind of numbers we're looking at.
Yeah.
So I thank you for what you're doing. So tell us about this ride. We're gonna tell me about the ride. We're gonna take a quick break, and then, how much time we get to break, Sean?
Why don't we just take it now and come back and we'll talk about the ride?
Yeah, let's get the details and how people can get you linked up. But let's take a little break, man. We'll let it cool off a minute. All right?
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right, brother. And we're back. Tipping Point Boone Cutler with Bill Ciccone. We're talking about End 22. And 22 is the number of warfighters currently in this country that take their own life each day on this side of the wire. Active duty, it's one per day. So we're talking 23 a day. That's the most minimum number possible. It's a real number, 8,000 a year. And unfortunately, Bill's son took his own life. And now Bill is standing up. He's bringing attention to the issue. He's going to, what are you going to do, man? How do we get involved?
Well, what we did is myself and David Waters, we teamed up with the Spartacus Foundation, which is a local nonprofit here in Chesapeake, Virginia. And the Spartacus Foundation has steamrolled this N22 project to unbelievable heights. And so in May of 2016, this is a big deal because the logistics of it is what is the hardest thing, to travel around the country and have stops. So myself and David Waters, which he's my friend that had attempted suicide twice before. But, I help him, he helps me, and we both lean on each other. So we're going to travel around the country, and we're going to stop at the hospitals, we're going to stop at military installations, we're going to stop anywhere we can stop to talk, we're going to stop and talk.
Great.
And this is going to go from Virginia all the way down to Florida, across down to Texas, up to San Diego, Salt Lake City, back across in Arlington National Cemetery, New York, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. So we're going to try to hit as many places as what we can and try to raise as much money as what we can to try to help these service members, reconnect themselves to the world. Because honestly, I don't want any other family to ever have to go through this, because this is something that will rip a father and a mother's heart just right out of your chest. Because, in life, we're taught that, your mom and dad are going to die. I know my mom and dad are going to die. Nowhere in this book of life did it ever tell me that I was going to have to bury my 24-year-old son, ever. So that's what we want to do, and we want to bring awareness to the situation, and we want to spread it, as far as it can go. Our Facebook page, facebook.com/helpend22. My video's up there that Spartacus Foundation produced, and there's a whole bunch of other information on there. My wife is like a busy beaver on that Facebook page, so if you message her within minutes, she's on it. So
great.
We have a album up there of our fallen heroes from all over the United States. If they want to message us and put their fallen hero in there, and my wife will jump right on it, and she gets them all up inside there. But, some kudos to the Spartacus Foundation and to Miss Gleason and your girl, Maggie. I'll tell you what, Maggie's unreal.
No, Maggie's good, people. And I got to kick you out of here. I also want to hook you up with the Spartan Pledge. I think that'd be a good addition to what you got going on. And for those that don't know, go check out Tipping Point Boone Cutler on the Facebook page. Find out all the information you can there. Find out about Bill and N22. Thanks for coming on the show, brother. And please keep us informed. Check in again.
Okay. All right. You take care, buddy.
God bless you, brother.
All right. You too. Bye.
All the way. Out here.